Hello everybody, it's Bourbon Bill, and tonight, a very special episode. We're diving deep into what Bourbon Bill's hunting for in 2025, because maybe you want to know, maybe you don't, but you're here anyway, so let's find out. First on the list is actually a bottle that's already out, and you should go watch my review of it, but I did want to hunt for it, but I already have it. Special shout out to Dave Vogelsang, thank you sir. It's the Woodford Reserve Batch Proof for 2025, 119.5 proof, compute 59.75% alcohol by volume. There it is, already secured it. No need to hunt this one, but if you haven't secured one, go grab one. Look, I know they're expensive, I get it. They're overpriced, but they are dang delicious, and I get one every year. Staying in the cask strength category, next up is going to be Knob Creek Cask Strengths. That's right. I said the words Knob Creek and cask strength together. I talked about this a little bit in my Knob Creek video. Again, go watch that one if you want more in-depth details. But Knob Creek is releasing a bourbon and a rye cask strength picks for 2025. So stores will be able to pick them at cask strength. Finally, they listened to us, and we're getting them at cask strength. So going to definitely try to pick up the oldest one I can find of a cask strength bourbon and a cask strength rye, and we'll do some comparisons for you, just for you, because that's who we are on this channel. Other Knob Creeks this year, I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, they've done the Knob Creek 18 now for past 3 years. Maybe they'll do that again. Their 35th anniversary edition, well, so the original Knob Creek 18 Batch 1 was their 30th anniversary edition bottle. So I think they have, I think it's 2026 will be their 35th anniversary. So it's probably not going to be a different special bottle this year, but there definitely will be one in 2026 from Knob Creek for their 35th anniversary. But I don't know if they're going to continue the 18 this year or do something different. Yet to be seen. But most likely I'll snag one up if it's something cool. Staying in the Beam family, Little Books. I may or may not hunt Chapter 9 depending on what they do with it. There's been so much going on with the Bookers, right? There's the Bookers Reserves now. They're going to do another batch of that in 2025. Little Book Infinite, batch 2 will be in 2025. And I enjoyed both those bottles, but they were more expensive than this. And I like this just as much. So I'm kind of like, I'll probably get one of those three, but not all three, right? And Little Book Chapter 9 is coming out. Don't know what that's going to be. But the 8's been my favorite so far, except for that really old one they did years and years ago. Oh, I almost forgot. Thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Zbiotics. Look, you got to take these before you have your first drink of the night. In case you're new here, we're going to go over it. Have you just not bounced back well the next day after a night out with the boys or the gals? Did you watch my Sagamore blind flight video? Of course, Nate and I had some of these before that video just to hang in there and be sharp the next day. Helped us out. Zbiotics Pre-Alcohol Probiotic is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by those smart PhD scientists to help tackle those rough mornings after drinking. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. And it's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next morning. Pre-alcohol here produces an enzyme that breaks down that toxic byproduct in the gut, helping you feel better the next day. So just remember, like I almost forgot, drink this before you drink this. Get plenty of rest, drink some water, and you'll feel better tomorrow. Now, click below in the description. There's a link in there. Click on that link, and that link's going to save you 15% off your first order with Zbiotics. Here I am helping you save money yet again. So make sure to go in that description and click the link. Now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Next up on my hunting list, gotta be the boys over at Jack Daniel's. So look, biggest news ever, Jack Daniel's 14-year at barrel proof. Holy shit, I hope you're sitting down for that news. Or if you're living under a rock, that didn't shock you because you've already heard about it. But Jack Daniel's has already bottled them, but they haven't released them yet. Jack Daniel's 14-year barrel proof. Look the hell out. Look out. Because that is going to be delicious. Probably the best bottle they've ever done. I expect it to surpass Coy Hill in terms of delicious flavor because, again, it is 14 years old. Obviously, and with that, let's not forget, they're going to release another, batch 4 of the 10-year and batch 3 of the 12-year. So, we're going to get all, hopefully I'll get all 3, but I do have some 10 and 12 left. from previous years, but those are killer. And, you know, all the age series is going to be phenomenal from Jack. It always is. But the 14 is definitely going to be the crown jewel. And speaking of Jack Daniels, what else? What's going to be their LE this year? We don't know. I'm going to be hunting it, though. I have no idea what it is, but, you know, the only LE that they did I didn't really love was that Oloroso Sherry Finish single malt they did a couple years back. And I think it was in 2022. That was when they released that one. Wasn't the biggest fan of that, but if they do something good this year in rye or bourbon or Tennessee whiskey, whatever you want to call it, I'm here for it. They haven't let me down yet, really, on any of those. Always kind of compared head-to-head against the JD is going to be the Russell's Reserve. Now, obviously in 2024 is the 15, but I'm hunting probably the Russell's Reserve 13 for 2025. They have already said they're not doing a 15 for 2025. They're doing a 13 again. You yet to be seen on the pricing, right? I mean, look, the 13 went from 70 to 150 doll hairs over its previous 5-batch run. And then they went to 250 for the 15 year. So, like, you know, are the Italian overlords going to stab us in the wallet again for 2025? We don't know. But I think if they do, if they're like, this is 200, I think we should boycott it because screw them, you know? And I think we should let it sit. But if they leave it at 150, which I hate that price, but if they leave it at that price, I'll be okay, I guess. I'll be mad, but I'll be okay. But they better not raise that price. Wild Turkey is one of the most ridiculous with the pricing anymore these days. But Russell Reserve 13, Bruce Russell did an interview with Jason from the Mash and Drum channel, so go watch him. But he did say that if you like the Russell Reserve 15, 2026 could be your year. So I don't know whether that's a hint that the 2025 Russell's 13 just doesn't live up to it, or, you know, wait another year, we got something better. I don't know. But I do love the Russell Reserve 13s. Loved them more at 70 doll hairs, right, or 100, but it is what it is. But we'll see what they price it at for 2025. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Now this actually happens to be one of the toasted barrels store picks, but just for you know, bottle purposes. Elijah Craig Barrel Proof batches. Okay, A125, I'm not hunting. Said it out loud, I'm not. If someone sends me a sample, great, I'll review it. But look, the age sucks. The proof sucks. Come on, Elijah Craig. They sold us a bill of goods back when A123 was the last bottle that they had a 12-year age statement. They said, oh, this will allow us to give you better expressions. It hasn't. The only bottle since A123, and we are now at A125, that was better than A123 was C923 because it was like a 13-year, 7-month, and, you know, 130s proof. That was it. The rest, while somewhat good, have all been lackluster and don't hold up to the old 12-year age statements. A125 is off to a shit start, let's be honest, a shit start. And Elijah Craig, Heaven Hill, if you're listening, you really do, God damn it, pull your pants up and get the belt buckled, okay? And get back to what we want with Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. It was pissing me off a little bit there. But if they get up to the 12-year mark again and some higher proof, or like, you know, 11-year, 10 months, something like that, I'll be in for, you know, hopefully batch B or batch C, but batch A, I'm out. I also hope, that's a speculation bottle. Elijah Craig did the barrel proof, toasted barrel picks. It's time to do a barrel proof rye. It really is. Whether you do that as a pick or a release, Elijah Craig, get off your ass. It's time to do that. One other one that I always get, Bombergers from Michter's. Now look, I like Michter's 10-year bourbons, but the 2023, 2024 pretty much only. The ones before that were pretty shit, and they vary quite a bit. So I have struggled recommending them. I'm not necessarily going to be hunting that. If I see them for a good price, maybe, but I don't tend to hunt them. Bombergers I do. I always enjoy the Bombergers every year. And this year they're doing something different. They're doing the Bombergers Precision Fine Grain. So some special French tight-grained oak barrel that they, you know, handmade by slave labor and something like that. So it's going to be really good, so they say. I'm interested in it. I'm interested in it. I think it'll be probably good. Haven't seen any reviews. It is trickling out now, so by the time this video launches, it will be out in some places. So go look for it or snag one, or let me know. Send me a sample if you find one before I do. And I do want to just point out a caveat that whatever happened to the culty barrel finish. 2024 they released just regular Bombergers 2024, and it was good. You know, go watch my review. But there was supposed to be a culty barrel finish that just disappeared. No one talks about it. They released a label for it, never happened, right? And that was supposed to be their first entrant into this like oddball Bombergers type bottles, right? And it just disappeared like a fart in the wind. Like, whatever happened to that? And it's not like It's not like Michter's wouldn't release it because it was bad. They would still do that, like they did with a lot of their Michter's 10 years prior to 2023. They still release horrible stuff for bad value. So it was odd that, like, what happened to that, right? So Precision Fine Grain was supposed to be the second entrant, and they have released those bottles. But I would just like to know whatever happened to the Culty Barrel finish. Going over to my taterish side, Eagle Rare 12 year. I know I give Buffalo Trace a lot of shit, but Eagle Rare 12 year does intrigue me. They upped it 5 proof. It's 95 proof, 12 years old. I think it'll be good. I mean, Eagle Rare 10 years good stuff for $37 hair or something like that if you can find it at MSRP. You know, if you pay up to $50, I think it's still decent. But you know, depending on the price, if they come out with Eagle Rare 12 year, it's 5 proof points higher, and it's $100. They can kiss my ass. I think it'll be findable because of the lower proof, and some of their picks are in the 11 year range already. So they probably got plenty of 12 year to go around. So hopefully it's plentiful, and all you taters will get to try one, and I want to try one and 2. There you go. So I'm hunting for that. Old Forester 1924 will be releasing batch 2, or the 2025th edition of their 10-year-old Old Forester. It was good. I tried a sample of it thanks to some of you. Couldn't get a bottle of it though, sadly. I wanted a bottle but couldn't get one. But I kind of want one for 2025. Hopefully they kept the price the same. I mean, it was too expensive last year, but it was pretty good stuff. It should be more available than it is. I mean, come on. Come on, Old Forester. You got plenty of old stuff laying around. Just, it's only 100 proof. You cut it with water. I mean, it should be more available than it is, but hopefully it's more available this year than it was last year. That's all I can say. But I'll keep my eyes peeled for that one. All right, now we're going to move on to specifically the ryes that I'm looking for this year, and there's a couple. Any more of those delicious 12-year barrel-proof MGP ryes from all those NDPs? We'll just say, you know, short barrels, one right here, right? Definitely looking forward to that. If they have more of those, River Root, Southern Collective. I mean, there's a Bella Bedford. There's a bunch of them. So anything in that 12+ year age range of the MGP rye, I'm here for it. Looking forward to it. Gotta say that. Gotta say. Also looking for a pick. This is a bourbon, but this is a Peerless Double Oak bourbon pick. But I do have a Peerless Double Oak rye, and I enjoy them quite good. But I would like a pick of the Peerless Double Oak Rye, because the picks are always a little bit older and a little bit better. Old Overholt 12 year should be released this year. That's right, you heard me right. From Beam, we had Old Overholt 10 year, Old Overholt 11 year, both fantastic. I loved them both. I think the 11 was a little bit better. Debate that if you want. But they're going to keep going up, hopefully in age and hopefully a yearly release. So it's probably going to be Old Overholt 12 year this year, and I'm definitely a buyer. Definitely a buyer for that. Thank you, Beam, who I'm sure will not let us down. All right, now, on to my namesake shirt distillery, the greatest finish rye maker in the world, Sagamore Spirits. There you go. So, what is Sagamore doing this year? Oh, a couple bottles we're going to be after. Okay, so any of the distillery exclusives. And if you're part of my Patreon, you join up, you get access to the distillery exclusives, or the best we can. So any of those that they're going to come out with, looking forward to it. There's going to be probably a bunch of different finishes. How many they do, yet to be determined. We don't know. They could do 1, they could do 10. We just don't know. Last year was a big year. Go watch my Sagamore blind video, greatest blind play. That was pretty much all 2024 releases, and most of those were distillery exclusive. So they did a lot in 2024. Don't know if they'll do that many in 2025, but either way, we're here for it. Sagamore has also doing a new cask strength. So Sagamore cask strength rye is always very good. It was always a shelf bottle for them. It was a blend of 4 to 7 year, although it was like 70% 7 year. It was MGP. They've now issued a new label that it's a higher proof. It used to be 112.2. Now it's like 123 point something. It's all their own, but it's all 7 year. So to take that, now their shelf cask strength is going to be 123 some proof, all 7 year, all their own distillate. Pretty cool. So all the people that went out and bought their 7 year bib, which I didn't, but I tried it. I did enjoy it. I didn't do a review of that. Sorry, they don't pay me, folks. I can only buy so many bottles. Sagamore does not help me in any way, although they should. But anyway, that being said, if you like their 7 year bib at 100 proof, they're doing a 7 year cask strength as a shelf bottle now. So be on the lookout for that. If you see some of the 112.2 and you really enjoyed it, I'd snag it, because that's done. They're not making that anymore. So if you see that and you want it, snag it. Also, big news on the Sagamore front. Sagamore is now doing 9-year picks. Oh, that's right. You might have enjoyed Sagamore 9-year, Sagamore 8-year from 2 years ago. But Sagamore 9-year from 2024 was phenomenal. I loved it. Go watch my review on it. Go see where it placed in Ryes of the Year. Whatever you want to do. They are going to do a Sagamore 10-year this year. Whoa! Double digits finally, baby. And that will be MGP. So we're definitely going to get a bottle of Sagamore 10. And also now, all their picks are going to be 9-year MGP. So Sagamore's days using MGP are numbered. They are switching over to their own distillate, which is now over 7 years old, right? So I think they're getting rid of the last of the MGP, right? So they're doing, Sagamore 10-year. They're going to do like a Sagamore 11-year next year, but then that's it. And lastly but not least, Sagamore Port for 2025, released every Black Friday. Again, if you're part of my Patreon group, you got one from 2024 and you knew how delicious it was. Go ahead and comment below. Sagamore Port 2024 is phenomenal. Did really well in our Sagamore Blind of the Year. Go watch that again. But Sagamore always does a phenomenal job with their ports. Looking forward to what they're going to do with it for 2025 as well. So there you go. That was quite an exhaustive list. I'll end with one I might be hunting for, but I gotta see the stats, is Bardstown Disco 13. This is the 12. I really did enjoy the 12, even though it didn't do very well in the blind, but I did enjoy the 12 quite a bit. If the 13's in that same vein, I'll be hunting it. If it's not, I won't. So that's why I had that one last. I might not. Kind of wishy-washy on it. But everything else on here, I'm definitely after in 2025. Comment below what you're after the most in 2025. And by the way, this is not like an exhaustive list. Of course, we'll take BTAC. Of course, we'll take Old Forester Birthday Bourbon or Old Forester President's Choice again. But all these like unicorn type bottles. Michter's 20. Send me a bottle of that if you want, folks. I love that. All that kind of stuff I'd love to get, right? But our wallets aren't that deep here, okay? And we're probably not going to, in reality, get that kind of stuff. So I tried to focus on the stuff that I could probably find, maybe find most of this stuff, right? So those are the things we're going for in this channel. Comment below what you're after, and we'll see you next time. Have a good evening, everybody.